All right, for those of you who missed it, on Thursday night, Dana White went live with Michael Bisping, and they announced the next few main events for the next few numbered events and fight nights going up until the UFC White House card. Now, in this video, I'll be talking about UFC 328's main event and main card specifically. And before I get into it, I just want to say Dana White, for once, actually looked interested when he announced these fights. I mean, rather than doing it with the front camera from his iPhone, they put together an entire presentation. They sat down somewhere other than Dana White's kitchen. They put together a beautiful presentation of the co-main event and the main event for UFC 327, the fighters competing on it. And I have some hope for these next few fights, which do look very good in my opinion. Now, starting things off, we have Atebagautier versus Ozzy Diaz. Atiba's going to slime him out. I mean, Atebagautier, he's on a 4-fight win streak in the UFC, 3 of which were by first round knockout. Recently coming off of a dominant decision win over Palaev. He was outstruck, however, he did have 2 knockdowns. For those of you who don't know, Atebagautier, he's a Cameroonian fighter, comes from the same village as Francis Ngannou. Definitely a beast. Ozzy Diaz, he's no slouch. He's 10-3. His 2 losses in the UFC are decent, I'd say. One to Joe Pyfer, who's now fighting with Izzy Adesanya, and the odds for those two are 50-50. And then another loss to Zhang Minyang, who, despite just losing to Johnny Walker last year, on an absolute tear, knocking out everybody he fights. So these guys, they are unranked. I do think that they may get moved down to the last or second to last fight of the prelims. That being said, it's going to be a great fight. I think Atebagautier will get it done, and then possibly fight a, somewhere from 10 to 15 ranked middleweight, and then possibly climb those rankings. Janblachowicz versus Bogdanguskov. This is an interesting fight because we already saw it. These two fought at UFC 323. It ended in a draw, and I'm really surprised they're running it back. I mean, Blachowicz, he's old. I mean, he's ranked number 5 in the division in light heavyweight. He's 42 or 43, I believe. Let me see exactly if it'll show his age. Yeah, it's not going to show his age on here. But, he's ranked 5th in light heavyweight. He's old, bro. He's got to be nearing the end of his UFC career, whether by his own decision or by force. I mean, he's having wars. He's going the decision with Pereira, Olberg, like split decision with Ankalaev. Like, he's a beast. He really is, but he's got to be getting to the end of his limit. Had the draw with Guskov, who before that had a win over Nikita Krylov. He was the underdog in that fight, so Guskov, he's moving up. I'm really surprised they ran this one back. I don't know why he didn't fight somebody else, like maybe, let's see, who could Guskov have fought that he hasn't already? He could have fought Rakic. Doesn't have a fight with Rakic. Could have fought who else? Alonzo Menafield. I mean, very odd they're running this one back. I do think that Guskov will probably get it done because, like I said, Blachowicz is getting older, and besides that, Guskov, he's young and hungry, moving up in the division. I definitely think he'll make improvements from his ground game in the first fight, and he will get it done this time. Seanbrady versus Joaquinbuckley. Thank God this is not taking place on the Apex. I mean, this is an exciting fight. Both of these guys are coming off of losses, but they're not bad losses. I mean, Seanbrady just lost to Michael Morales, who is the biggest weight bully in the UFC. I say that all the time. Before that, like I said, he was, not inactive, but he did have a little bit of a pause between his fights. Yeah, he hadn't fought in 6 months. Not as bad as I thought. Yeah, not so bad. But he does have something with his knees, so he's wearing those knee pads in his fight with Morales. He he's a great wrestler. He went the distance with Burns, subbed Leon Edwards. Definitely, he was ranked first in welterweight. That was at a time when Shavkat was inactive and before Islam moved into the division. Great fighter. I'm really hoping to see him get some momentum again. Buckley coming off of the loss to Usman, who is one of the best welterweights of all time. Buckley is definitely moving up. I mean, before that, he had that dominant win over Colby Covington. Another win over Stephen Thompson. He's definitely somebody that also has momentum in the division, and this fight's gonna be amazing. I mean, I'm really glad that it's not taking place in the Apex. I definitely think that this could have been, hell, even a co-main event, to be honest with you. I'm curious to see what happens from here. I mean, neither of these guys will get a title shot if they, or have a claim to a title shot if they win. The winner may face Morales, but I guess that would make more sense for Buckley. It wouldn't really make a whole lot of sense for Brady to face Morales again. I wonder who Morales will fight, speaking of. I mean, it's looking like Islam will fight Ian Gary, so JDM is already booked for Protes. Usman doesn't have a fight. Maybe Morales will fight Usman. Bonfim and Bilal Muhammad are fighting. That's crazy. I forgot Bilal's name for a second. Leon Edwards doesn't have a fight. I don't see either of these guys fighting Leon Edwards, who just lost to Bilal. Or not Bilal, sorry. He lost to Protes. Before that, lost to Bilal. So, yeah, I guess the winner of this, who knows? They're both going to be behind the winner of JDM and Protes, and then if Morales fights Usman, if not, then Morales definitely has a better claim than both of these guys. So excited to see this fight. I wonder what it'll do for the rankings and the possible title picture. Volkov versus waldocortesacosta. Another interesting fight. I mean, if we're using MMA math, Volkov beat Pavlovich, Pavlovich beat Acosta. Acosta just beat Derek Lewis, who is ranked, 11th in division. Volkov he had the win over Almeida in a robbery, loss to Cyril Gahn. It's very odd that, you know, he beats, I mean, Tuivasa is a blob. We're not even going to talk about that. Beats Pavlovich, right? Beats Gahn, lost on the card, but Dana White himself said it was a robbery. He'd make it right. Fights Almeida, beats him, and now he's fighting Waldo Cortez Acosta. It's very odd. I think I think Volkov will get it done. I think he's the better fighter. That being said, Waldo, this is a big jump for him going from Derek Lewis to facing Volkov. I'm surprised he didn't fight like Rizvan Kuniev. I think that would have been a more interesting climb. You know, going, lost to Pavlovich, Dehia, or Delia, Gaziev, Lewis. Heavyweight's a mess. I mean, a lot of the things going on don't make a lot of sense to me. I don't understand why Gon poked Aspel in the eyes and he's getting another interim shot. It could have been Volkov versus Pereira for that belt, for the interim belt. I definitely think Volkov takes this one. Really surprised they even made this matchup to begin with. Regardless, it's going to be a great fight. And then finally, the main event, Khamzatchimaev versus Sean Strickland. This fight will be amazing. I mean, prior to the Hernandez fight, I would have told you Khamzat subs Sean Strickland. It'll be like Khamzat versus Whitaker 2.0. But after seeing Strickland, who everybody thought was going to get ragdolled by Hernandez, win, by TKO, and not be a decision merchant, a jab and teep fighter, I definitely think that there are more outcomes for this fight. I see three. One where Khamzat subs Sean Strickland, kind of like he did to Whitaker, just absolutely dominates him. Another one where he toys with Strickland. It's a DDP Chimaev 2.0 where Khamzat just holds him down and hits him 500 times. Only about 50 of those are significant strikes. Just humiliates Sean, dominates him in the wrestling, and doesn't exactly do much in terms of damage. Gets a boring win. And then a third option where Sean performs like he did against Hernandez. I don't want to say stuffs all of Chimaev's takedowns, but poses a decent threat, and then keeps Hamza on the feet and then possibly knocks him out. I could see a TKO win. Now that sounds a little crazy, but if you watch Hamza versus DDP, there are definitely moments in the fourth or fifth round, I forget off the top of my head, where they were boxing, they were just, straight on the feet. And DDP wobbled Hamza with like one or two hits. Like he landed one, maybe two hits at the start of his combination, wobbled Hamza, and it looked like for a moment DDP might knock Hamza out. I could definitely see that happening. I mean, Hamza, we don't exactly know if he has a glass chin because nobody really gets into these striking exchanges with him because his wrestling is so dominant. If Sean can show great wrestling defense and keep the fight on the feet, who knows? Maybe he will be able to outstrike Khamzat and then get a TKO win like he did over Hernandez. But I don't know if that was like a not necessarily a fluke, but like a one-time thing where I really thought at one point in that fight, despite being dominated for the entire, you know, every round before that, it looked like DDP might knock Khamzat out. I don't know if it was just he was exhausted. I don't know if he was caught off guard. I don't know if he has a glass chin. Nobody's got the chance to test it, but I could definitely see Sean very, you know, take this with a grain of salt. I think it's more likely that Khamzat dominates him and holds him down for 25 minutes or, subs him in the first, second round. But there is a slight possibility that Sean could keep things on the feet and knock Khamzat out. Regardless of what happens, it'll be an amazing fight. The press conference and all of the shit talking before then will be amazing. I definitely think that this will be one of the more exciting main events of this year. Um, we've had a few letdowns, I'll say. I mean, Volk versus Lopez was an amazing fight, but nobody, I think, wanted to see that rematch. The BMF fight, the first 2 rounds I thought were amazing. I mean, at the very start, Oliveira rushed Holloway, was outstriking him. I was extremely surprised Max survived that first round, but as the fight dragged on, it did just that. It just drug on more and more. It was, I hate to say, because I love Oliveira and Holloway, but by the end of it, that fight was pretty boring. That being said, I definitely think that this fight will deliver. I think it'll be entertaining through and through. Even if Hamzat holds him down for the whole fight, I definitely think people will be on the edge of their seats. Let me know what you guys think, how you think these matchups will go. As of right now, I've got Atiba, Bogdanguskov. Between Brady and Buckley, I'm leaning towards Buckley. Could see it going either way. I'll have to look into it a bit more, but leaning towards Buckley. Volkov, and then khamzatchimaev. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.